Training is nothing, will is everything. The will to act. A quote from Ra's al Ghul. But I think Liam Neeson can say it better.
The training is nothing. The will is everything. The will to act.
Cinema is full of wisdom and life lessons, and the Batman trilogy even more than others. This epic quote can easily be overlooked, but with this video I want to give it some space to breathe. There is truth to the importance of will, but what does the quote actually mean? Without strong motivation and determination, it's hard to push through challenges and achieve goals. Not the training, but the willpower that helps you endure hardship, persist even when things get tough, and overcome internal resistance. You can train for as long as you want, but it ultimately comes down to the will to act. This quote plays a pivotal role in Bruce Wayne's transformation into Batman, and it shapes his journey throughout the movie. Bruce Wayne goes from this to this by what he calls practice.
You're not the devil, you're practice.
And yes, he needed to train, but it was only the will to act that finally made him conquer his fear and become Batman. You don't become Batman by training. You can match Batman's athleticism through training, but to actually become Batman, you need to have the willpower to go through so much pain and struggle just to do what you believe is right. And you need to be rich. It would have been a lot easier for him to just join the League of Shadows, but he had the will to act upon his beliefs and turned against them. And in that moment when he turned against them, he didn't know exactly what he was going to do at that point. He didn't know exactly what skill set he was going to need from this point forward. But he knew it was the right thing to do, and he had enough training. So now he said it's the time to take action and do what I believe is right. And I believe in myself that the challenges that come in the future from this decision, I'll be able to handle them. It even applies in simple situations, like when the League of Shadows destroyed the house of his family and left him to die trapped under a log. Although he has the training and fitness to lift a log, in this moment it's not about that, but instead it's about his will to take action and stand up, although it all seems hopeless in that moment. Think about it. His family died, and he thinks they died because of him, and because of him their house was destroyed, and the League of Shadows is here to destroy Gotham, the city his family helped build. But he puts all of those worries, all of that grief aside, and although he did need a little help from the best butler in the world,
what is the point of all those push-ups if you can't even lift a bloody log?
Takes action and stands back up. And although this quote substantially impacts Batman's origin, it actually still applies in later movies like The Dark Knight Rises. The scene where he needs to make the climb comes down to the same idea. Of course, he had his back broken, so he needed to do some training and rehabilitation to get that fixed. But once his back was okay, he did some training, he tried to climb, failed. Did some training, tried to climb, failed. And Bruce Wayne did this because he was so convinced that his body makes the climb. But it was only when he finds out that it's not the body, but the mind that makes the climb. And that the one person that actually made the climb before was a kid. And that kid can impossibly have the same athleticism as Bruce Wayne.
The leap to freedom is not about strength.
My body makes the jump. My soul is as ready to escape as my body.
Fear is why you fail.
Only when he found out that and embraced the fear of death and gathered up enough willpower, he actually made the climb. And I could list many more examples in the Batman movies, but I think you get the point. We can probably all learn a lot from this quote because it directly addresses a core problem many people face. Learning how to theoretically do something is comparatively easy. There are millions of videos on YouTube or other websites on how to do something. Here's my step-by-step guide. This is what I wish I would have known when I started. Top 5 mistakes all beginners make, so on and so forth. It's so easy to get caught up in learning about doing something, especially when you don't have one teacher but can watch endless amounts of videos that probably all explain things differently, that most people fail to take action. It becomes even worse when people think that watching these videos or reading those books is taking action, but that's not true. Training and learning about something can be a form of procrastination. Only actually doing it is taking action. And nothing else.
Here's the thing, NVIDIA, I never finished my business plan. William Bell's book, How to Start a High-Tech Company. It's like this thick. And so I read the first 3 or 4 chapters, and I got to go to work.
What this quote also means is that no matter how much you train and try to learn from other people's mistakes, at some point you will have to take action, and it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. You will improve your skills while you're taking action, and making mistakes is part of the process. And even if you have managed to take the first step, we all face moments of resistance and doubt in our lives. The quote serves as a reminder to push through those moments and summon the will to act to make progress towards our goals. Do I think this quote is overly simplistic in its stark contrast? Of course, it isn't as simple to just say, as long as you have the will to act, the training is irrelevant. Without proper training and preparation, even the strongest will might falter in the face of complex challenges. One mustn't forget that Ra's al Ghul says this to Batman during their training session, but ultimately it's a delicate balance. Strong will can motivate one to seek training, and effective training can boost willpower. But if you could only choose one, willpower trumps training every time, and that's what Ra's al Ghul meant.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
The quote's value lies in its ability to inspire action and encourage self-reflection. By understanding its nuances and applying them to your own context, you can harness the power of will while recognizing the importance of preparation and growth, leading to a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Ultimately, training is common, but the will to act is rare. So if you have spent the last weeks or months preparing for something, say you're learning about investing, planning your next big project, or thinking how to finally ask that special girl on a date, maybe it's finally time to take action. I hope this video could inspire your will to act. Let me know what you think of Ra's al Ghul's quote, and I'll see you in the next one.